What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zachary Kramer with Progressive Payment Solutions, and welcome to the PPS vlog. Today, we're going to be talking about what you can do with all that extra money you have from saving on your credit card processing fees, typically by doing the cash discount program. In my personal opinion, the best thing you can do is invest in yourself. So today we have Danny Wood from Sandler Training. Welcome, Danny.
Zach, thank you very much. Been watching your podcasts, enjoy them very much. So it's a pleasure and an honor to be on here today.
Thank you. And just very quickly, Danny is actually my personal sales coach, and I highly recommend him. So, Danny, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. All right. Actually, we're talking today that the ceiling is everybody's, right? To break through that ceiling. So really, I love what you said, Zach. Invest in yourself, buy stock in yourself. My goodness, right? You already made the right decision, right? You made that decision to do cash discounts and do that through you, right? That program, fair? And so now you've got all this cash, and why not invest in yourself? You know, I often find that the sales profession, with most people, they dress nice, have a nice personality, they get a business card, they say, get out there. That's what you hear, right? You hear from owners of companies, or get out there, meet people. Well, that's nice. I think that's a good thing. But the fact is that professional salespeople were trained. I mean, just like the people in IT in your office. Could you imagine? Hey, you're good with computers, but are you Microsoft certified? No. You know, if you went to a lawyer, Zach, hopefully you never have to go to a lawyer for anything, right? But if you do, they passed the bar, right?
Absolutely.
It wasn't a paralegal that's representing you in court, right? Like with my cousin Vinny, if you remember that. Right? Or if you were being audited by the IRS, you would go to a CPA, right? Bookkeepers are wonderful, right? Wonderful, but not when you're being audited. So the same thing with sales, right? You want to get certified. We actually do certification here at Sandler. But today, what I wanted to share, since you have one on your desk, you have a template right on your desk of our 30-second commercial. So I wanted to share that with your viewers today, listeners, viewers, to give you a tool to help you get leverage when you're starting your sales calls, whether it's on the phone, whether it's networking, whether it's a first meeting face-to-face, first meeting virtually, hybrid selling obviously is huge today. You really have to have it together. Now, what most people do, Zach, is they do a whole feature and benefit dump, right? Hey, how are you? What's your name? Oh, I'm Danny Wood. I can help you increase your sales 30%. We can help you handle all the stalls and objections. Same stuff everybody would say, right? In fact, when we first met, you were doing a feature and benefit commercial, and then you turned it around and started to implement your opening with how you help people. Right?
Yep,
how
exactly.
You help people, right? Because most people are tuned into that WIIFM, what's in it for me? And as soon as you start saying what's in it for you, they tune out. So let me just give you a little example with a 30-second commercial. Certainly we start with an introduction, right? Hi, I'm Danny Wood with Sandler Training. Great. I'm sure you know your company. I'm sure you know your locations, things like that. But after that, you want to actually put in there the type of people that you work with. I work with closely held businesses, right? I mean, and that's another thing. I think most people out there, Zach, don't know their ideal client, and they're out there just looking for anyone. And if you're going to go and get referrals, which is the easiest way, and I know you guys grow your business through a lot of referrals and the good work you do, you want to be able to describe who your best client is. Right? I was out networking and heard a guy from a payroll company say, anybody who's got employees, I mean, where does your mind go to introduce somebody? You have to really say your sweet spot, right?
Exactly.
Right. So for me, when I tell people that my sweet spot is owners who have own a building or rent a significant amount of office space, they drive a nice car, There's a spot in front that says reserved. They're strong-willed. They care about their people. You have to know who your ideal client is. But back to investing in you, what you want to do is take this commercial, opening statement. You want to work on yours, Zach? I mean, I could do mine, but you want to just let the world know what you do? We could do it that way, right?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
I
Why don't you just give me your opening statement and your your positioning, who you work with.
Okay. So this was a commercial that I've been working on for the last year or so now. So I keep it posted right on my desk, right next to my
That's
camera.
what the good people do. It's like air traffic control. You got your commercial. You've got your top stalls and objections, right? You've got the questions you want to ask, the questions you think you'll be asked. That's what the good people do, right?
Absolutely.
They're prepared. Go ahead, Zach.
So my name is Zachary Kramer with Progressive Payment Solutions, and we are a merchant services company specializing in credit card processing. We typically work with people or companies that are frustrated with customer service at their current relationship, angry about high processing fees, and upset that their equipment is outdated. Do you want me to finish it, or do you want
Wonderful.
me to
Well, let's start with that. And you did a wonderful job. Who's your teacher again? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, really. And it took us time to craft that, right?
Absolutely.
So, what you're doing, Zach, is you're talking to the pains, right? Now, everybody loves the word pain. They go, yeah, what's your pain? Can't go to somebody and say, what's your pain? You have to earn the right to get pain. There has to be trust, credibility, comfort, right? Creating comfort. So, that's a skill in itself before you even start getting pain. People, if you're going to get pain, you have to set the environment for people to want to share it with you. And I find sometimes salespeople, instead of getting the pain, they are the pain. But you did a wonderful job of describing emotional words that your best clients experience, right?
Yep.
And if people don't experience that, you can't, you could, well, they say you could stand on your head till you're blue in the face. You could give all your features and benefits. You're not going to change somebody's mind. It's what's in it for them. You want to meet people where they are, right?
Exactly.
Looking for people who are frustrated by this, upset because of that, concerned because of that. So for me, I work with people who have good companies, they have good people, but they're frustrated that they don't have enough new opportunities on a consistent basis, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, the world has changed. I can't see people face to face anymore, or oh, everything is so different. And so whatever it is, they can't get good quality opportunities in their pipeline. And Zach, they're also concerned because when they end up putting quotes together and proposals, and it takes them, in certain cases, hours and a lot of manpower to put those things together. In most cases, right? And they find that they don't get decisions, and they're calling and saying, "Hi, it's just me," right? Calling to see if you have my order. The point is that they don't end up closing the deals. And then there's a lot of pressure for price.
Yep.
And a lot of times people say, look, my business has been commoditized, and I can't, I don't have the technique on how to overcome that price pressure, and our margins are squeezed, and we're just not making the money that we used to. So you did a great job. I was sharing a few more just so that everybody can hear the emotional words and how you help people. So everybody out there, you just have to think, your best customers came to you for what reason? It probably wasn't just price. They had something they were experiencing that was personal to their business, and in most cases personal to them if it didn't change. That's what you need to do. And then what's your benefit statement, Zach? What do you got?
So for the benefit statement, well,
Benefit statement encapsulates
so
why you're different, what you do. I'm putting you on the spot, but
yeah,
you know what?
So eventually this follows right after the pain statement. So we're able to do this. I started out by saying, by, and then I go into the rest, which is basically saying that we have a dedicated customer service representative that knows each of our clients by name. We have some of the most competitive credit card processing rates in the industry. And all of our equipment is up to date and PCI compliant.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Fantastic, Zach. So we'll stop with that for a moment.
Yep.
For me, we do ongoing training, right? Making incremental change, a little bit at a time. And it's like training a sales athlete or a sales musician. You just don't learn it in a day, right? Those people who go to those fancy, to a one-day boot camp thing, you might learn something and get excited about it, but nothing really changes. So it's like training a sales athlete or musician, transforming over a period of time, incrementally. So what you did, what I did, what everybody out there should be doing is not making your whole commercial everything about you, but do take one sentence and share your differentiation, right? It's very important to do that. How do you solve those problems? And now you really got somebody's attention. And the last thing there, Zach, is called a hook question.
Yep.
Now, this is where most people have difficulty. They're like, what? I'm not going to do that. But what's your hook question, Zach?
So for mine, it's, I don't suppose you are experiencing any of those concerns, or I don't suppose you fall into that category, but if you do, it might make sense for us to have a conversation.
I mean, Zach, again, I'm very proud of you. It might make sense. You see, when you push, that's the traditional sales person. When you push and you get your needs met because you have commission breath and you want it more than they do, you're in trouble. What we're doing is we are staying back. It's like fishing, right? You get the amateur, he feels the tug on the line, they pull it up, right? We need to talk, Zach, right? But the professional gives more line, so the fish feels safe. Maybe even takes the bait, goes out to cold waters, then they bite on that hook. But the point is that, as soon as you provide tension, your prospect will resist. So what you're doing is you're saying, hey, look, I don't suppose those are things you're experiencing, right? I don't want to assume, I know all businesses are different. I don't want to assume that you experience any of those, but do any of those happen from time to time? So you're letting them make the decision.
Yep.
And I love how you just said, if they do, it might make sense to get together. You see how you're hanging back? What would somebody else do? They do this whole commercial, they get to this point, and then they say, and if you're experiencing that, we should talk. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, right? All of a sudden, my defenses go up. So, I mean, you really, really have executed that very, very well.
Thank you.
And yeah, no, I mean that. And so that's how this works. And you have to own it. You have to own it. It's we have this little rule about if you didn't bring it with you, you're not going to find it there. If you're not, because I see sometimes people say, well, Dan, it might not have sounded so good, but I do it right on a sales call. I don't know. If you didn't bring it with you, if you don't have it and it's not ingrained in you, it's not going to show up there. You've got to practice.
Practice
right?
makes perfect.
It really does.
I've been doing this for over a year. I still have it in front of me. I still reference it. Still, that's what I do.
I have a CEO that I work with, Zach, who's one of the fastest growing companies in New Jersey. And I bet you we met in, I've been doing this 21 years now. So in 2000 or 2001, every time he adds a new product line or a new service, he comes up with a new commercial with him and his team. He happens to love the word flabbergasted. He says things, I find that my clients, when he meets with chief technology officers, when I speak with chief technology CTOs, I find that they are flabbergasted by. I mean, that's just an emotional word that he found really works for him and he's comfortable with, right? And that's another thing. When you say to people, when I work with VPs of sales or you work with CFOs of companies, for everybody out there, take that title of the person that you work with and put it in so it sounds like you typically work with those people. Typically, Zach, when I work with CFOs, right? So it's like you're bonding. You're now helping them feel at ease. This is something you do every day of the week, right?
Yep.
So you take that topic, that title, and you put it in there. So those are some tips, Zach. I hope everybody got a little something, little nugget that you could take out of that. But that's what we do. We do this ongoing, and every week, professionals, sales managers as well, VPs of sales. Look, the fact is, most people never really learned to manage. They were really good salespeople. Yeah. Or they were a partner in a company, and one partner says, you get finance, I'll get sales, and they just really never learned. And they, so it again, it's a profession. And
absolutely.
If nothing else, sharpen the saw, right? So invest in yourself, whatever you do.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So,
well, thank you very much for sharing that information. It's helped me a lot. I'm not just saying that. I've been doing this with Danny for, I've known you pretty much my whole life, but yeah. Other than that, we've been working together probably for 4 or 5 years maybe. And then I actually took the course about 1.5 years ago. It's really changed the way that I look at prospecting and sales, and it's increased our bottom line pretty significantly, which is.
Well, you were an ideal candidate for the program. It's for people, because your dad, who I've known for a very long time, but told me that you were reading a book, right? Zach reads a lot of books. He has these ideas. So that's a good sign that that's good for me, meaning somebody wants to learn, somebody's already taking the initiative to go and do something. That's what I mean by investing in yourself.
Yeah.
I have a very good client, and he remembers on the sales call, and it's been years now, he remembers that I asked him, have you ever invested in yourself before? What books have you picked up and read? Because that's a sign to me that you would learn and you'd be committed, right?
I was reading Chris Voss's book. I forgot. He's the
Never Split the Difference.
You never split the difference.
Yep. Yes, very, very good book. Very Sandler-esque, if you will. A lot of
Sandler ideas,
right? Yep. And I loved it because he was talking about hostage situations where people's life was on the line, and he was using the same stuff.
Yep.
Active listening, mirroring and matching, softening statements. I mean, you think that you might have some fancy technique that's going to have somebody release their hostages, but it's about people. Yep. It's Sandler. It's sales training, but it's deeper level communication skills. And that's what is listed or mentioned in that book, which is really is a good book. But it's just interesting. The more you know about people, the less you need to know about everything else. And I think that was a good example of it, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, very cool.
Well,
all right, Zach. Well, thank you so much. I put you on the spot. I mean, you deserve a little, positive stroke here.
Absolutely.
But you came through, and that I really appreciate you inviting me. I hope it helped.
It absolutely helped me, and hopefully it helps some other people out there that are struggling. And if you would like to get in touch with Danny, I will leave I'll leave his contact info in the description. And Danny, do you have a link I could send them to? That's maybe.
Oh yeah, sure. So okay. Yeah, dwood, at Sandler.com, right? So dwood.sandler.com, right, would be the website, right? dwood.sandler.com. And but if you want to email me, dwood@sandler.com.
All right, so I'll leave your contact info and a link to your page in the description below. Sure. And I really thank you for taking the time, and I hope you have a progressive day.
Fantastic. Love it. All right, you take care. Thank you.
All right.